They say kindness never goes unnoticed, but what if it actually cost you everything? Imagine helping a helpless old man, only to lose your job the very next day. Sounds unfair, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to one janitor. And her story will leave you speechless. Today's story isn't just about losing a job. It's about loyalty, hidden truths, and a shocking twist no one saw coming. We're diving into the life of a janitor who thought she was just doing the right thing. Little did she know, her simple act of kindness would put her face to face with the CEO, and not in the way you'd expect. So sit tight, because what starts as a regular day in the office ends with a jaw-dropping revelation. A regular day, an unexpected encounter. Maria Johnson wasn't anyone important in the office hierarchy, at least not on paper. She worked as a janitor in a massive corporate building that belonged to one of the biggest firms in the city. While others in suits walked past her without a second glance, Maria knew her role mattered. She kept the place clean, organized, and welcoming. On a chilly Tuesday morning, Maria was doing her usual rounds, emptying trash bins, wiping down glass doors, polishing the lobby floor. Tasks most people overlook, but ones that keep an office running smoothly. That's when she noticed something unusual. An old man sitting alone near the lobby entrance. His clothes were wrinkled, his shoes dusty, and he looked lost. He wasn't one of the employees. Maria knew every face in that building by now. At first, she thought he was just waiting for someone. But then she saw his hands trembling as he tried to open a small bottle of water. Choosing kindness. Now Maria could have ignored him. After all, it wasn't her job to take care of strangers in the lobby. She had her list of tasks, and helping someone outside her duties could easily get her in trouble. But something in her heart told her otherwise. She walked over, crouched down, and asked softly, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need help?" The old man gave her a weak smile. "I'm just trying to find my son. He works here, but I can't remember which floor." Maria gently took the bottle from his shaky hands, opened it, and handed it back. Then she offered to help him find his son. She could have just called security or reception, but she didn't. Instead, she walked with him, slowly guiding him through the building. A hidden connection. As they rode the elevator, Maria made small talk. She learned that his name was Edward. He was a retired factory worker and had been feeling lonely ever since his wife passed away. "My son barely has time for me," Edward confessed, his voice cracking. Maria didn't push for details. She just listened. Sometimes listening is the kindest thing you can do for someone. Finally, they reached the top floor, the executive offices. Edward pointed toward a door with a golden nameplate. "Richard Dawson, CEO." Maria froze. Could it be? The old man she'd just helped was the father of the CEO. The wrong place, wrong time. Now here's where things took a turn. Just as Maria was about to say goodbye, Richard Dawson himself stepped out of his office. He was tall, sharp-dressed, and known around the company for his strict rules. Spotting his father with a janitor, his face darkened. "Dad, what are you doing here? And why are you with her?" Richard's voice was cold, almost embarrassed. Edward smiled warmly. "This young lady helped me, son. I was lost, and she was kind enough to bring me here." But Richard didn't look pleased. In fact, his jaw tightened. He quickly ushered his father inside and shot Maria a glare that said more than words ever could. Maria walked away, confused. She thought she had done something good, but in Richard's eyes she had crossed an invisible line. The firing. The next morning, Maria's supervisor called her into the office. Sitting at the desk was Richard Dawson himself. Without even giving her a chance to explain, he slid a paper across the table. "You're fired," he said bluntly. Maria's heart dropped. "But why? What did I do wrong?" Richard's eyes were cold. "You overstepped. Your job is to clean, not to get involved with my family. We can't afford distractions here." Those words stung like a knife. She had poured her heart into her work for years, only to be dismissed like she was nothing. The rumors. As news spread around the office, employees whispered about Maria. Some pitied her, others judged her. She shouldn't have meddled, a few said. She was just trying to be nice, argued others. But the truth was, no one dared stand up for her. In corporate culture, jobs are fragile, and speaking against the CEO could cost anyone their career. Maria packed her things quietly, tears threatening to fall, and left the building for the last time. Introduce a problem. Here's the real question. How could kindness lead to punishment? Why would a CEO, someone at the very top, react with such anger toward someone who helped his father? This story isn't just about one janitor. It's about how power, pride, and status can sometimes blind people to simple human decency. Richard Dawson saw Maria's actions as an intrusion, not compassion. He valued control more than kindness, and that's the problem. Many workplaces face people forgetting that behind every uniform, every role, there's a human being. Power versus compassion. Let's be honest. Many corporations care more about appearances than humanity. For Richard, seeing his vulnerable father escorted by a janitor probably felt humiliating. Instead of appreciating Maria's kindness, he saw it as a threat to his carefully built image of power and success. But here's the irony. Leadership isn't about control. It's about empathy. Countless studies have shown that leaders who practice compassion and humility build stronger, more loyal teams. Harvard Business Review has published multiple reports confirming that employees who feel valued and respected perform better, stay longer, and contribute more. Maria's act of kindness should have been celebrated. Instead, it was punished. The personal toll. Losing her job wasn't just a financial blow for Maria, it was an emotional one. She had rent to pay, bills piling up, and a daughter in college. Her job wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. And now it was gone. She spent nights questioning herself. Should I have just walked past? Should I have ignored him? But deep down, Maria knew she did the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing comes with consequences. The father's regret. What Maria didn't know was that Edward, the CEO's father, wasn't happy either. He later confronted Richard about firing her. She was the only one who treated me with kindness, Edward told him. You think money makes you powerful? Real power is in how you treat people. But Richard, blinded by pride, didn't listen, or at least not right away. Weeks later, something unexpected happened. Richard Dawson faced a public relations nightmare. A journalist got wind of Maria's firing and published an article titled, "Janitor Fired for Helping CEO's Father." The story went viral. People were outraged. Social media exploded with hashtags like "Justice for Maria." Suddenly, the CEO who fired a janitor for being kind became the villain of the internet. Shareholders called for answers. Clients threatened to pull contracts. And Richard realized that his prideful decision had put his entire company's reputation at risk. In a desperate attempt to fix the damage, Richard reached out to Maria. He offered her job back, along with a public apology. Cameras flashed as he admitted he was wrong. But the world wasn't quick to forgive. Maria's story is more than just workplace drama. It's a reminder that kindness is powerful, even when it costs you everything. She lost her job, yes, but she gained something bigger. The respect of millions, who saw her as a symbol of humanity in a world often driven by cold ambition. And Richard? He learned the hard way that no amount of power can erase the consequences of treating people poorly. So next time you see someone in need, remember Maria. Because at the end of the day, it's not your title, your paycheck, or your corner office that defines you. It's how you treat others. Want to hear another story that will leave you questioning everything? Click the next video. You won't believe what happens there.